Could the Broncos land a stud like Ashton Jeanty? One ESPN analyst thinks so. This is your Denver Sports Daily for January 23rd.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
The Broncos are projected to get one of the best running backs in the 2025 draft, according to one ESPN analyst. This year, the Broncos have the 20th pick in the draft, and it's clear they're looking to build around Bo Nix. So one way to do that would be getting a stud like Ashton Jeanty. And ESPN's Mel Kiper dropped his first mock draft of the year yesterday, and he thinks that the Broncos are going to do just that. He has the Broncos selecting the Heisman runner-up, Ashton Jeanty, the running back out of Boise State. We all knew him. He was amazing. Jeanty looked like a Heisman favorite for a large portion of the season, but he was taken over by Travis Hunter, the Colorado kid. But Jeanty has had one of the best collegiate seasons ever. He really did. I've never seen a season as good as Ashton Jeanty at the running back position. I really haven't. And then Travis Hunter obviously had an amazing season. He's going to be a top 3 pick. But Jeanty ran for 2,601 yards and 29 touchdowns in his last campaign. Just incredible numbers. Incredible numbers. Now, with the running back position making a resurgence, and we've seen it with players like Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. You look around the league, a lot of teams have a really good running back that they can, put their load on. Jahmyr Gibbs for the Lions is one of them. Bijan Robinson for the Falcons is another one of them. The running back is making a resurgence, and I, for one, am here for it. I'm here for it. It's the most fun position to watch. Really, it is. These guys, sure, they'll get 1 or 2 yards for you, but then they'll break out and get 30. Running backs are necessary in today's football. It wasn't for a long time. It wasn't that way. It was the quarterback ran the offense. Every player ran through the quarterback. Need to be making downfield passes. Need to be making, quick plays that get you 5 yards. That's how the quarterback position was looked at for the past 10 years, 20 years, a long time. And the running back is finally coming back to a point where it's like, these are necessary. It's necessary for you to have somebody that you could put your load on. And the fact is, the Broncos don't really have a running back one right now. They don't. They really don't. Javonte Williams probably not going to be on the team next season. Audric Estime had some shining parts of his season, but not overall great. Jaleel McLaughlin, good, not great. So getting a running back like Ashton Jeanty, a rookie running back who is proven to be incredible at a high level, would be a huge get for the Broncos. Now, sure, a lot of the talk is if he's going to fall to 20. If he could. I personally think he can. You look at the teams in that area, 1 through 20, a lot of them are going to be taking other positions other than a running back in round 1. The Broncos are in a lucky spot right now where they have most of their positions filled. They really do. Most of their important positions, when you look at things like edge rusher, cornerback, quarterback, wide receiver, even left tackle, that's all filled. That's mostly filled. Being in a position where you can draft a running back 1 right now is a lucky position to be in, and the Broncos have the ability to move around and kind of decide what they want to do in the draft, and a running back like Ashton Jeanty would really be a huge help. Now, moving on, talking about cornerbacks, Patrick Surtain is already on track to win Defensive Player of the Year, but he's adding to his career season with 2 different awards. Yesterday, PS2 collected 2 different Defensive Player of the Year awards. The first was AFC Defensive Player of the Year, and the second was the Pro Football Writers of America Defensive Player of the Year. Now, Surtain is the 4th cornerback to win the Pro Football Writers of America Defensive Player of the Year. It's a mouthful. He joined New England's Stephon Gilmore in 2019, Green Bay's Charles Woodson in 2009, and San Francisco's Neon Deion Sanders in 1994. Now, the Writers of America Award is historically a signal of who will end up winning the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Out of the 32 previous winners of that award, 28 have won the NFL DPOY. So it's looking really good. It's looking really good for Patrick Surtain. Now, the Broncos haven't had a Defensive Player of the Year since Randy Gradishar won in 1978. So it's been a while. It's been a long time since the Broncos have had somebody as good as Patrick Surtain on the defense. And sure, I know what I just said, but Von Miller was up there. But Patrick Surtain is getting up on that level. Patrick Surtain is right there with him. Now, Surtain, obviously an incredible season, holding passers to a 58.9 passer rating on the 62 times he was targeted. He also earned first-team All-Pro for the second time of his career and added his 3rd Pro Bowl selection. So, honestly, I don't want to say it too early, but he's basically shoo-in. I mean, this guy's got it. If there's anybody else that's over him, I would be surprised. Patrick Surtain has had an incredible season. There was a time in the season where he was holding passers to such a low rating that they would literally have a higher passer rating if they threw the ball into the ground on every play rather than targeting him. That's an incredible stat. That's one that blows my mind. They would have a better rating if they threw the ball out of bounds than if they passed it to where Patrick Surtain is. Just incredible. Incredible. Now, moving on, the Avalanche lost in overtime to the Winnipeg Jets last night, 3-2. This game looked like it could go both ways for basically the entire time. Now, the Avs did jump out to an early 1-0 lead early in the second, but the Jets fired back, scoring 2 of their own in the second period. And Cale Makar ended up scoring that tying goal around the 7-minute mark in the third period, and both teams were able to hold each other off for the rest of regulation. Now, overtime was one of, if not the most anticlimactic finish I've ever seen. Neil Poink for the Jets scored a goal only 17 seconds into OT. It really was just everybody's getting excited going into overtime. I imagine the stands were getting hyped. You're sitting there getting ready for overtime, and 17 seconds in, your dreams are crushed. Now, after this OT loss, the Avs sit at 28-19-2, and they still sit in the 4th spot in the Central Division. Their next game is this Saturday against the Boston Bruins. That's going to be a big game. Really unfortunate they lost to, obviously the number 1 team in the Central Division, but still, it's a great team. The Jets are a really good team. Losses like this are going to happen. At least it was an overtime loss. They really just need to get back on track. This year has not been kind to the Avalanche. 2025 has not been kind to the Avalanche at all. January has not been fun. They need to get back on track and start getting in a groove, winning more than 1 game in a row. They haven't been able to win more than 1 in a row all of January. They need to get on track, start winning more games, find a groove, and they'll be good. They'll be good. Really, just play for the postseason. Play for the postseason. You don't need to win every game, but win games and get to the postseason. That's all they got to do. That's all they got to do. Now, it is a Nuggets game day. Tonight, the Nuggets are welcoming the Kings to Denver for their second matchup of the season. The last time these two teams played was on December 16th when the Nuggets won 130-129. Now, the Nuggets are on a heater right now. They are hot. They've won 8 of their last 10 games and are on a 3-game win streak currently. Now, the last 12 games that they've won have all been by double digits. They've been playing the best basketball of the season right now. Now, they're coming off the biggest win of their season, beating the Philadelphia 76ers 144-109. Incredible win if you watch that game. Nikola Jokic put up his 4th triple-double in a row. MVP stats. Now, the Nugs are headed into this game as 9-point favorites, and they'll tip off at 7 p.m. tonight. Should be a great game. Now, that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I do want to read some of your comments. Let's see. Anyone knows that Ashton Jeanty will be gone in the top 15. Denver won't get near him. Maybe. If he gets drafted, I don't see him getting drafted in the top. I really don't. I don't think that a running back will get drafted in the top 15 this year. So agree, disagree. I see where you're coming from, but really, I think that Denver has a good chance at getting this guy. It's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous at all to think that. Let's see. I like 2 of the Ohio State Buckeyes running backs, Quinshon Judkins and Trayvon Henderson. Quinshon Judkins, on the show last week when we were talking about the draft and what the Broncos can do, Quinshon Judkins is one name that I brought up. He comes to mind. He's incredible. Now, that's one guy that I would definitely, if the Broncos can get him, that would be huge. Now, I don't know where exactly he's going to fall, maybe later in the 2nd or 3rd round. I haven't really seen any kind of mock draft on where he could be, but that would be one of those pickups that I would be totally here for. That's one where I'm buying his jersey right out the gate. That would be incredible. Let's see. Don't need the next Monte Ball. No to Jeanty. I will not tolerate Monte Ball hate on this show. I'm a Monte Ball believer. Day one. I actually lived in Madison, Wisconsin when him and Russ were at the University of Wisconsin. And I moved here the same year that he got drafted. So I got a special place in my heart for Monte Ball. Love that guy. Won't tolerate it. Won't tolerate it here. Let's see. Mel Kiper is wrong. He will not fall that far. More like 10 to 12. A further grab is Tyler Warren. Yes, a tight end would be incredible. A tight end would be nuts. And that's obviously the number one where I'm thinking, a tight end would be a huge help. But if he can get past that 10 to 12 range, if he can fall to the 20, if Ashton Jeanty's on the board, you got to grab him. There's only certain times where stars like this really become available. And it's times like this. If he can fall to 20, if they took Tyler Warren over Ashton Jeanty, I would be a little bit disappointed. But I've been wrong in the past. I'm the same guy that said I think that Brock Bowers should be drafted by the Broncos this year instead of Bo Nix. So I've been wrong. Truly, I've been wrong. But I still think that Ashton Jeanty's got something about him. Let's see. What good is a first-round running back when Payton doesn't run the ball? Fair point. A little bit fair point. Still, like I was saying, you need somebody to lean on. And even if they're the best running back in the league and they're only getting 10 snaps a game, you need somebody who you're going to be available to go to when it's 3rd and 2 and they've been clamping your pass game all night and you got to get 2 yards. You need somebody, and Ashton Jeanty could be that guy. He really could be that guy. Judkins projected early day 3. Yeah, so again, you could get him later. But if Ashton Jeanty's on the board, I'd rather have Ashton than Judkins. Really. Let's see. Our running back room is crap this season. That is why our run game sucked. Yeah, that's another part of it, is that Sean Payton wasn't running the ball because there wasn't much to do with the run game. There wasn't much of a run game at all to begin with. So yeah, I definitely see what you're saying there. That's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I'll be back with you guys again tomorrow. Hopefully recapping a Nuggets win tonight. They've been on a heater. Should be an easy win against the Kings. Let's get out there and win that game. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.